Good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great pleasure and privilege continuing the discussion on the topic of spiritual science, elaborating the most important vocabulary which is called karma. So in this episode, which is the part 4 of our episodes, I would like to quickly recap what we have seen so far before we could proceed into more complex understanding of this science of spirituality through the terminology called karma. We have seen that this whole creation of this entire physical world, which we call it as cosmos, which science believes that it came from nothingness 13.8 billion years ago, came into existence in the physical form with the trillions and trillions of stars and galaxies which are beyond the human intellect to comprehend. So that means this vast universe or cosmos, it continued to expand even after 13.8 billions of lapse of time. We don't know what is the extent of this end of the space and how this whole cosmos can continuously expand into such a oblivion. So that is beyond the comprehension of human intellect as well as the branch of science. So we found that the creator, there are many kind of disputes and different kind of beliefs about the creator. Let us not get into the branch of religion at this point in time, because the religion is entirely different from the science of spirituality. So we will deal with that later in some other topic. But as far as this entire physical world is concerned, it appears that the whole expanse of galaxies are performing on its own with certain built-in laws. When you say law, that means it is a program that is really governing the sustenance of this universe without any external intervention. So we have seen in the building block that this entire physical world has got a built-in memory. Because when you say there is a program which is orchestrating a particular system, that has to reside in a codified form somewhere in the memory. So we also saw the analogy that in a computer, the computer programmer develops what is called an operating system and incorporates in the memory of the computer chips so that this program interacts with the external world within the prescribed guidelines of the operating system. So it is only a read-only memory, what we call it in the computer science. That means we cannot go and alter that program. We can only use the program as it has been written by the computer scientist. So it is needless to say, in our journey of understanding the whole complexity of this spirituality which is centering around the principle of karma, it is very important to understand the first building block is, that means the whole physical creation is built in with a memory which is really governing its own behavior in this whole cosmos. So that was the first building block we have seen. That means there is no physical entity that can remain in the physical world which doesn't have an operating system or a memory built in it. Now the next question is, whatever may be the creator, whatever may be the cosmic intelligence that has created this whole physical world, must be super intelligent in order to create a self-sustaining mechanism. When you say self-sustaining mechanism, what it really means is, in an automobile, when the automobile engineer is creating a motor car, for example, he has created several systems that is called automobile, in which the driver can operate certain pedals and controls, and then he can take himself from one place to another without even knowing what is the internal mechanisms are doing. That means the meaning of the word automobile is, auto really means that it functions on its own within the built-in laws. Mobile really means that it can move from one place to another based on certain controls operated by the motor car driver. In the same way, the Creator has designed this entire cosmos with a built-in memory system wherein there is a predetermined program has been written. As per that mechanism will function. So we have also seen as an example that the earth is revolving with a particular velocity around itself and also moving in an orbit around the sun, which is the star of this particular planetary system, at a particular speed or velocity, covering the same path again and again in a cyclic manner. That means the second characteristics of this whole physical world is it is cyclic in nature. That means it will keep on repeat itself again and again and again within the same predetermined program. So you cannot see any creation in the nature which is not cyclic. For example, when you are putting a seed, it becomes a seedling and then it becomes a plant and then it becomes a tree and then it becomes a flower and then fruit, and fruit leads to seeds again, and the seed continues its journey in a cyclic manner. So you will notice that there are certain physical phenomena has got certain characteristics which is cyclic in nature. So that means it has got a built-in program or intelligence or an operating system that has been built in as a law by the Creator, and then the second is it goes on in a cyclic manner, repeating itself again and again and again. So these are some of the very important building blocks for us to understand the whole concept of karma going forward. The other aspect we have seen that in the whole creation, out of this 13.8 billion years of evolution, there has been minerals which subsequently developed into plants, and plants has been evolved into animals, and animals have evolved into human being, and we don't know what will be the next evolution of the human being, which is a question mark. We will come to that later. But in this evolution, we also saw that each of the creation, like minerals to plant to animal to human being, the level of consciousness by which we are able to understand this universe is continuously expanding. The second aspect is the faculties given to the mineral is far different from the faculties given to the plant, animal and human being. That means the faculties by which we will be able to understand our presence in this mammoth physicality is continuously evolving and expanding, which means that the operating system that has been incorporated in this whole physical world is continuously becoming more and more complex and capable. So going forward, these are all the very important building blocks by which we will be able to deep dive into the concept of karma, which is the very foundation of the science of spirituality. We also saw subsequently some of the building blocks like the punya and papa as described by the human kingdom, which is essentially behaving as per the intent of the Creator becomes punya. Doing anything against the intent of the Creator becomes papa. So we have broadly classified this into two categories, where some of our actions fall into the subject of punya and some of our actions are falling into the subject of papa. So these are all very important building blocks for us to discuss this subject in greater detail in the coming episodes. And we also saw in the last presentation what he meant by volition. Volition is nothing but an intention with which we act on a given circumstances. Such of those who have not seen the previous videos, part 1, 2 and 3, I humbly request you to go through them so that the building blocks of these subjects are continuous for your better understanding. And we also saw that the volition, the intention to act, is a unique kind of capability or a virtue given only to the human creation. You will not find volition present in the case of animal, plants or minerals. They have no capability to make choices. Only human beings have been given the opportunity to make choices. When you are given an opportunity to make choices, you will perform the karma with multiple volitions. So these are very, very important building blocks for us to appreciate the concept of karma. So this particular episode, I thought I will recap and bring about a clear understanding for all of us, so that all of us are in the same page for developing this topic of karma in greater detail. I appreciate your patronage and continued support in viewing some of these presentations and sharing it with your family and friends, so that the idea of spiritual science spreads across all human beings, so that we can create a more harmonious world. Look forward to see you in the coming videos, and I pray for your well-being, good health and peace and prosperity in your family. God bless you. Take care. See you soon.